If you love your dog, why would you use a shock collar? The use of shock collars, also known as electronic training collars or e-collars, has long been a contentious issue in the world of dog training and animal welfare. These devices deliver electric shocks to dogs as a means of behavioral correction, and proponents argue that they are effective tools for training and controlling dogs. However, critics vehemently oppose their use, citing ethical concerns and potential harm to dogs' well-being. The question that arises is, if you love your dog, why would you use a shock collar? This video delves into the arguments both for and against shock collar usage, considering their impact on canine behavior, welfare, and the human-dog relationship. Behavioral modification and training. Advocates of shock collars argue that these devices serve as effective tools for modifying a dog's behavior. They claim that the immediate and precise correction provided by shock collars can help dogs associate unwanted behaviors with discomfort, ultimately leading to a reduction in those behaviors. Proponents often emphasize that when used correctly and responsibly, shock collars can expedite the training process and enhance a dog's ability to learn commands and cues. While it's true that shock collars can yield apparent results in behavior modification, their effectiveness is not without controversy. Critics highlight that the suppression of behavior through aversive means does not necessarily equate to long-term behavioral change. The fear of punishment might lead dogs to exhibit avoidance behaviors rather than truly understanding and internalizing the desired actions. Furthermore, the potential negative consequences of using pain as a training tool raise concerns about the emotional well-being of dogs subjected to shock collars. Canine welfare and ethical considerations. The well-being of dogs should always be a paramount concern for dog owners and trainers. Using shock collars raises significant ethical questions about whether causing physical pain or discomfort is justifiable in the name of training. Advocates of positive reinforcement training methods argue that creating a positive and supportive learning environment fosters a strong bond between the dog and its owner, leading to a more harmonious relationship built on trust rather than fear. On the other hand, the use of shock collars may not only cause physical discomfort but can also lead to psychological distress. Dogs exposed to repeated shocks might develop anxiety, fear, and even aggression, especially if they start associating their environment, training sessions, or their owners with negative experiences. This not only challenges the well-being of the dog but also undermines the potential benefits of the human-dog relationship, as the bond between the two becomes strained by fear and uncertainty. Human-dog relationship. Central to the debate over shock collar usage is the impact it has on the human-dog relationship. The relationship between a dog and its owner is built on trust, companionship, and effective communication. Advocates of shock collars argue that these devices facilitate better communication and control, leading to a well-behaved and obedient dog. They claim that shock collars allow owners to effectively convey their expectations to their dogs, resulting in a more manageable pet. However, critics assert that a strong and positive relationship between humans and dogs is not cultivated through fear and pain. Positive reinforcement techniques, which involve rewarding desired behaviors, have been shown to build stronger bonds between dogs and their owners. These techniques encourage dogs to actively engage and cooperate in the training process, promoting a mutual understanding and respect. Shock collars, in contrast, have the potential to erode the trust and emotional connection between dogs and their owners, leading to a fractured and uneasy relationship. The role of science and progress. The field of dog training has evolved significantly over the years, embracing a more holistic and evidence-based approach. Scientific research has shed light on the cognitive abilities of dogs, their capacity for learning, and the most effective ways to teach them. Positive reinforcement training methods have gained prominence due to their emphasis on nurturing the dog's natural instincts and behaviors rather than suppressing them through punishment. Shock collars, meanwhile, are increasingly seen as outdated tools that do not align with the evolving understanding of animal behavior and welfare. Modern training methods prioritize humane approaches that consider the emotional well-being of the dog. As our knowledge about animal cognition expands, the use of shock collars becomes more difficult to justify, especially when alternative methods have proven to be both effective and kinder. Alternatives to shock collars. For those who seek to train their dogs effectively without resorting to shock collars, there are numerous alternatives available. Positive reinforcement, clicker training, and marker training are all scientifically validated methods that focus on rewarding desired behaviors and building a strong human-dog bond. These methods not only encourage dogs to learn in a safe and supportive environment but also foster a relationship based on trust and cooperation. In recent years, professional dog trainers and behaviorists have embraced these alternatives, shifting away from aversive techniques. This transition reflects a broader societal shift toward more empathetic and compassionate treatment of animals, recognizing their sentience and capacity for emotional experiences. Conclusion. The use of shock collars in dog training raises a moral dilemma that centers on the question: if you love your dog, why would you use a shock collar? While proponents argue for their effectiveness in behavior modification and control, the ethical concerns and potential harm to canine welfare cannot be ignored. As our understanding of animal cognition and behavior evolves, it becomes increasingly evident that positive reinforcement-based training methods offer a more humane and mutually beneficial approach. Ultimately, the use of shock collars reflects not only the training methods we choose but also the values we hold as pet owners and as a society. Choosing alternatives that prioritize the well-being and emotional connection between humans and dogs aligns more closely with a compassionate approach to animal care. If we truly love our dogs, it is our responsibility to ensure that our training methods reflect this love through kindness, empathy, and respect. If you liked this video, please click the subscribe button below and share.